Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum to all our listeners. Greetings from HR. I am Mahanoo Binte Wafa Khan and a UK educational counselor. So HR is leading consultant company in Pakistan that has been working in Pakistan since 1993. And since then, our aim is to provide a high quality education option to our youth for the better future of Pakistan and our society. Furthermore, we have approached highly ranked private government colleges and universities across the globe. And currently, we are officially representing more than 150 universities in our panel. And we have more than 70 UK universities in our panel. And today, one of our British universities is live with us, which is also a part of Russell Group, and its name is Exeter University. So HR has its offices all over Pakistan, and it gave an opportunity to our students to meet with our expert counselor face to face and can resolve their queries about foreign education. So I hope everybody is doing well and hopefully practicing social distancing. Because of this situation, we are arranging the live session with Exeter University so that our student can be updated about our partners institute. Moreover, for this, I would like to welcome our guest, Ms. Bu Gere, International Officer of South Asia Marketing, Recruitment, Communication, and Global from Exeter University. Thank you, ma'am, and welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me today. Yeah, it's brilliant to be here. Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am. Now, at the other side, I would like to welcome my colleague, Ms. Mehtab, who is Regional Manager of UK Admission Team from Lahore. Welcome, ma'am.
Hello. Hello. Thank you so
So,
much.
yes, thank you, ma'am. So now, first, I will tell you a little bit about the Exeter University, what the university is. The University of Exeter is established in 1955, and it's a public research university which is located in Exeter, Devon, Southwest England. Exeter is also the member of Russell Group of leading research intensive UK universities. And furthermore, about the ranking, the university is ranked 146 in World University Ranking according to the Time Higher Education in 2020. And if I talk about the country ranking, so its ranked is 26 in the UK. So the university have 4 campuses and they have 6 departments. So today we will discuss with you people much more about the university criteria, scholarship, tuition fees and accommodation and much more. So stay connected with us. From now, I would like to request Ms. Mehtab to continue this session. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and special Ramzan greetings from the team HR. Thank you, Manur, for introducing us. And I would really appreciate you, Gary, from Exeter University to give us time to discuss the important features of the university and its planning, specifically in this pandemic situation. I hope university is well prepared to answer the queries related to international students. As Mahnur has mentioned that Exeter University is an old and established university which was established back in 1955. And since then, university is working tirelessly to become global enterprise, establishing multiple campuses and initiatives across the world. Exeter University is one of the priority and prime partner with HR consultants in Pakistan. And we are really proud that we recruit good number of students for university each year. Now, I would like you to please guide our prospective students about the university, its campuses, and their locations. And what do you want to explain us about the university? Afterwards, we'll be having question answer session. So please, all students, get ready your questions, and you may post your questions here. Like, over to you, Bu.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm just going to share my screen in just a second, and it's just going to go through kind of some of the 5 reasons to say yes to the University of Exeter. So I'll just share my screen now. Hopefully everyone will be able to see this. So I'll keep this brief because I know how busy we all are and how many webinars are taking place every single day and every week. So this is kind of just going to be a quick introduction to kind of the University of Exeter and kind of 5 reasons why you should maybe consider studying at the university, or perhaps you already hold an offer and you're still considering why you'd like to study here. So kind of first things first, I think this also links with the current pandemic as well at the moment, is kind of the number one reason is all the kind of support we put into place for all of our students who decide to come and study with us, whether that be home students or international students from all over the world. This is our number one priority. To give you a little bit of an overview of where we're currently standing with the pandemic for our autumn 2020 intake plans, we're hoping to still have an autumn intake, and we're hoping that we will welcome students around the 12th of October. So that is the current plans that we're discussing at the moment. It's not definite, but more details on those will be released on the 26th of May for precise dates of the first start date of term. In regards to other support, we have online support. Students at the moment, we're making sure that we're trying to be as transparent and trying to be as clear with students about the message, about our start dates, our accommodation, and we're updating our, if you can see at the bottom, our webpage, which is at www.exeter.ac.uk/coronavirus/prospective students. So really, this is a great online resource in case you have any particular questions. And also this website is updated on a daily basis with new information about English language requirements, what are we going to do in case you're not able to sit your examinations on time. We have all those questions answered on that page. Also, we're here, me right now, as part of our team, as part of the South Asia team, working with HR consultants about how we can also guide you through this time and offer you that support. As well, at the University of Exeter, we also have our international student support team. So not only are they there for this pandemic that's happening at the moment, but the international student support team is there to help you with any visa and any immigration queries prior to and also when you arrive on campus. For example, if you want to work part-time, they can guide you on how to make sure that you're in your Tier 4 visa guidelines. So that's just some of the support that we do offer. We, as a university, we have 6 academic colleges. Those colleges range from the business school to the School of Engineering, to the Humanities College, to the Life and Environmental Science College. The University of Exeter at the moment has some really strong pillars of research, which include climate change. We actually have 4 of the 16 leading world climate scientists that work at the University of Exeter. We're also leading research in diabetes and also in Alzheimer's research as well. So they're currently some of the research bases that we are very prominent in around the world. Also, one thing to consider when you're thinking about studying at a UK university or even a global university is thinking about your kind of career and your future career. And you can see just in the top right-hand corner here, actually 95% of all of our graduates go into full-time employment or further education within 6 months of graduating. That's a really high percentage, and we're really encouraging when it comes to careers and making sure students have the best employment opportunities once they've graduated as well. So not only do we offer support during such an uncertain time during the pandemic, but we offer support in terms of career and your future once you've left the university. So one of my second reasons why I think students should say yes to the University of Exeter is the location. So as previously mentioned, the University of Exeter is based in the southwest of England, which you can just see down here in the bottom left-hand corner. It's probably one of the warmest places in the UK. I think that's a benefit. Perhaps I'm a little bit biased because I like the sunshine and I like to be a little bit warmer, but it's also one of the most beautiful places in the UK. Typically, the southwest of England is where most people go on holiday. If they can't go abroad, they will come down to the southwest of England and spend their summer holidays down here. So our main campus is based in Exeter City itself. It's a smaller city, but it's a very student-based city. We actually have just over 22,000 students that study with us at the University of Exeter. So we are actually an incredibly large campus. So that's why the city tends to be more student focused. And actually it's a very incredibly safe environment. The nearest seaside is actually only 20 minutes away from the University of Exeter. So if you enjoy being by the sea, by the coastline, this is a perfect place to kind of study and also enjoy when you're not studying. We also do have another campus, which is based in Cornwall, which we also share with Falmouth University, so which is next door to Falmouth. So it's about another hour and a half, 2 hours away from the University of Exeter by train, 2.5 hours sometimes, depending on which train you decide to take. Some are slower, some are faster. And that is based in Cornwall. Some of our courses, which tend to be in Cornwall, tend to be more of the environmental sciences, because it's right on the coastline, and that's where the lecturers can get really stuck into their research. And we do offer other programs such as business and law there, and we also offer a range of different engineering programs such as renewable engineering and mining engineering, which is based in Cornwall. We do have one other campus, but that's for our medical students, and that's based just in Cornwall as well, not too far away. And we do have one other campus in Exeter, which is called the St Luke's campus. So we have the main Streatham campus, which is the largest campus of all of our 4 campuses that we have. But the St Luke's campus is about a 20 to 25 minute walk away from the main campus in Exeter. That campus is for our medical students, our sports and health science students, and our education students. The reason why that campus is slightly separate from the main campus is because it's right next to the hospital. So our medical and sports and exercise students can have all the resources of the main hospital at the University of Exeter, and it's really, really close by. So just to give you a little bit of a look at what our campus looks like, we are a campus-based university. So that means all of our building, all of our accommodation is based in one place. So it's great, perhaps if you've woken up a little bit later and you're rushing for your next lecture, your accommodation is also on campus. So it'll only take you about 10-15 minute walk to get to that place on campus for your next lecture. We were also voted one of the greenest campuses in the UK. As you can see, we have a running joke that actually says we have more trees than students at the University of Exeter. In fact, I can actually say we have 1.5 students to every tree in Exeter, so we have more students.
Yeah. So that area must be very green and clear.
It is incredibly green, and on a great day, on a very clear blue sky day, you can actually see the seaside from the campus, which is an incredible view. So it's really beautiful. So it's really important to think about what course you want to study, but also about the place that you're going to be studying at. I think makes a really big impact on your student life and experience. And this is our St Luke's campus. So this is our smaller size campus, also based at the University of Exeter, where our medical and sports and exercise students are based.
Right.
And this is our Cornwall campus. So you can see it's a lot greener. It's right on the coastline. You can see the estuary here, which heads out into the sea. And actually, the campus, we have a range of solar panels, which actually powers most of our buildings at Penryn. So it's a very green and sustainable place, campus. So kind of the third reason is part of the community of Exeter. So actually we have over 30 students from Pakistan, but we actually have over 250 students from South Asia, from across the world. And we actually have over 7,000 students from countries outside of the UK. So actually at the University of Exeter, we have a huge international feel. which I think is great in terms of getting to know your community. It's great for if you're maybe feeling a little bit unsure of whether you want to study abroad. There are so many people who are in exactly the same place as you are, and it's a great place to meet different friends from all over the world. And not only that, is we have 125,000 alumni in 183 different countries across the world. I think this is really important, and I think this links back to careers, because when we talk about alumni, it's not just about kind of you've received your degree and then perhaps you go back home to work. I always say it's not about necessarily what you know, it's also about who you know in this life. And actually our alumni network means we can put you in touch with people who have been on a similar career pathway that you're hoping to aspire to. And then actually with that network of people that you know, your whole career can kind of almost explode, and you could get to know so many different people, so many different career pathways, and actually you become a part of this global community which we have here at Exeter, which I think is a really valuable for later down the line and for your future. So that's kind of my third reason. My fourth reason is we have a lot of different funding opportunities for our students. We know our students come from different places all over the world, and actually it might not be possible for them to come and study at a UK university due to expenses. However, we recognise talent from all over the world, and we want to encourage that. So that's why we have a range of different funding opportunities for our undergraduate and postgraduate students.
Perfect.
The best way to find out about actually our scholarships that we offer, because these vary year on year depending the amount of funding we have, which comes from the colleges, but we have what's called the Global Excellence Scholarship. So we're recognising students based on their academic merits at university or in high school, and we're offering usually between £5,000 to £10,000 worth of scholarship for those who have done very well in their academics. The students who are perhaps still considering studying with us this year, we do have the Global Excellence Scholarship, which is still available and it's still open for students. And the deadline is the 30th of June, so it's coming up. We say the sooner you apply, the better, because some of our courses and colleges close earlier depending on funding. So the sooner you apply, the sooner you can apply for your scholarship and have that secured. So the best way to find it is on our funding database. So at exeter.ac.uk/undergraduate/fees/funding search. Even though it says undergraduate, this is also for our postgraduate students and also our PhD students for any funding which might be available. So please do check out our funding database. And kind of the fifth reason is student life at the University of Exeter. I could go into so much detail about how the University of Exeter, we're actually a top 10 university in the UK, according to The Guardian. So actually the academics which are provided at the University of Exeter are top quality. We were also just voted the #1 business school in the UK for our graduate prospects. And we do amazingly well on a range of different subjects, usually being in the top 15 for kind of engineering, history, even humanities, as well as a range of different sciences. So we're a top university, and as I said before, I could talk so much about the different rankings, where we stand. However, I think it's equally important to talk about the student life at the University of Exeter. It costs a lot of money to attend a university here in the UK, so you want to make sure that not only are you getting a top quality degree with the best lecturers and career prospects once you leave, but it's also about the student life you'll get as well. And kind of, we want students to reminisce at their time at the University of Exeter and say, that was such an incredible time. I loved my time at the university. So at the university at Exeter, we have a range of different societies and clubs where students can get involved in a different range of activities. We have students who we try and encourage them to do something new. even myself, I live here at Exeter, and I recently learned how to sail and surf. So it's all about kind of trying something new, stepping outside of your comfort zone, learning a new skill. And also lots of students hang out by the quayside. We have a lovely river that runs right through the University of Exeter, and students kind of hang out, they'll study, they'll revise down by the quayside, they'll have some pizza. There's great places to eat, great restaurants. And then a lot of students, they'll go walking. We have Dartmoor National Park, which is only about a 20-30 minute bus ride away from the university. So you can surround yourself in beautiful countryside. We have wild Dartmoor ponies, you can feel the nature. Then we also have the beautiful coastline as well. I like to say we're the university that has it all, because we have the city, we have the countryside, and we have the coastline. So it depends on what kind of feeling or kind of vibe you want for your university experience. But having spoken to a range of different international students during working here at the university, not one has said they've had a bad time here. In fact, they don't want to leave us, and that's something that we're really quite proud of. So that's kind of 5 reasons to say yes to the University of Exeter. It's kind of very brief. But if students do have any future questions, you know, we're here to support not only HR consultants as well, but also the team here at Exeter. So if you do have any future questions, you can get in touch with us at southasia@exeter.ac.uk. And just one thing to flag as well, we will be having a follow-up session as well for any specific questions, which will be happening on the 22nd, so this Friday at 4 p.m. And HR consultants will give out more information about how to sign up and register for that session as well. Also, check out our Instagram and our Facebook profiles. You'll find out more about our international student experience. It's great to hear it from myself, but it's even better to hear it from some of our current students as well. So thank you. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we have started receiving some questions from students. First of all, one of the students wanted to ask that if there are any specific deadline to apply for admission at University of Exeter. Like some of the programs have, sometimes they have application deadline in social sciences department or in business department. If there is any course which requires specific deadlines, please can you indicate us here?
Yeah, absolutely. So for students who are looking to apply for our postgraduate programs, we don't necessarily have a deadline, which is great. However, kind of the deadline we start to think about with students who are looking to apply for visas, kind of the deadline starts to kind of approach August, to make sure that you have enough time to get your visa process. That is a very last minute though. The sooner you can apply, the better, because it means you'll be stress-free. You know, you can work with HR consultants, making sure you've got that visa process going on. You can apply for scholarships. So there's not necessarily a deadline, but I would look at our deadline for some of our scholarships for our business school. For example, we do have one scholarship for the business school, which is ending at the very end of this month. So if you are looking for additional funding, then that might perhaps be your deadline rather than the university deadline.
Right, that's great. So students who are joining us here and listening to the presentation and the question answer session, if you are interested to apply for admission, you must gear up to apply for admission right now. And to be very honest, funding awarded by universities are really great. They do have plenty of options to apply for finances options. So if you are interested to apply for admission, you must apply right now so that you can apply for scholarships in time. Some of the scholarships have deadline by the end of May, and the rest will end in June. So you must apply for admission first so that you may grab the right scholarship for your funding.
Yes, right? Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bill, what are the special arrangements by university? Like, what are you planning to start this September as usual? Or is there any relaxation in the course start dates? Or what are the other facilities?
Yes, of course. So I'll share some of the discussions that we're currently having as a university. So we do have a couple of different plans in place. Of course, we want students to come and study with us as soon as possible. We don't want students to wait another year to possibly study. We know students have been planning this for quite some time. So at the moment, discussion that we're having is that we're hoping that students will be able to join us in October. So it will be a later start date than September, and that's based on the information that's just been released by Boris Johnson from our UK Prime Minister in regards to kind of social distancing and how we'll be able to actually work as a campus with thousands of students joining us. So we're hoping October will be our start date, and that has not been officially confirmed yet, but the official start dates will be confirmed on the 26th of May. So that website that I kind of pointed out to you with coronavirus updates, it's really important to look out for that update that will be appearing on the website. For some of our courses, we know some students are saying, well, will we have an online beginning? Will it be blended learning? And then will I arrive onto campus? So there may be a online blended kind of beginning to your course. That might include students actually being physically on campus, but some of our larger lectures might have to go online. For example, if a lecture is 300 students, we might have to have those lectures online while students are still joining us on campus. And that's just to make sure that we are still socially distancing and making sure that student safety is our #1 priority. We are looking at some of our courses to actually start in January. So instead, this was in regards to our postgraduate students. So some of our courses will be starting in January, and perhaps this has been a conversation also. So this is for some of our business school programs and some of our engineering programs that might start in January rather than an autumn start date. So these are some of the conversations that we've been having. I know it's probably very frustrating to not have a very specific kind of information right now, but as I mentioned before, 26th of May is when we'll have a clearer picture of when those start dates for each of the courses that we offer will happen. So I hope that's been a little bit more helpful, but obviously you can appreciate the goalposts keep moving during this whole situation and during this pandemic. So we just want to make sure we have one clear statement for all our students so that there's no confusion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we all are facing the same thing. Yes, Mahnoor, do you have got some questions from students?
Yes, ma'am. I have one question regarding this undergrad sandwich year. Can you please discuss about the undergrad sandwich year programs, Boo?
Yeah, sorry, could you repeat that? Some of the undergraduate. Oh, sorry, could you repeat that for me?
Mahnoor, can you repeat that question?
I'm talking about the. Can you please discuss about the undergrad sandwich year programs?
Oh yes, some of the undergrad sandwich programs. Oh yeah, absolutely. So most of our programs at the university do offer a sandwich year, so a placement year. That typically tends to be where you'll study for the first and second year at the university. And then in your third year, you'll gain a placement to work with an industry or with a career provider. And then in your fourth year, you'll come back to the University of Exeter and finish your final year with us. How that kind of sandwich year works is you will still have to apply for your industrial placement year. So it's not kind of a given year where you will automatically have a job, and you will still have to apply for it. However, we have so much support at the university to help you with CV writing. We help you with your supporting statements for a particular job. And we also make sure that we advertise all the sandwich year placements on our careers website, which all our students have access to. And then we also train you for interviews and for any assessment centres to make sure that you're almost top student for the job placement. So most of our students who do opt for an industrial placement year do get an industrial placement year in that sandwich year. Students who don't typically tend to gain those are the ones who've maybe been a bit more relaxed, have been perhaps a bit lazier, have not decided to kind of make sure their students are one of the best. But if you're looking to do an industrial placement year and you really want one, then definitely the university can help you support that. We've had students who've gone work for global companies like KPMG, who've worked for Coca-Cola, kind of during their like 1 year period, and then have come back. And also a really good thing about a sandwich year, especially when talking about industrial placement, is actually if the company has really enjoyed you during that kind of sandwich year, there is then an opportunity for them to employ you after you've graduated as well. So it's all about making sure that you impress them during your sandwich year. And then we also obviously have different kind of sandwiches. So you can also do a study abroad at one of our partner universities as well, which is a fantastic way to also gain a different insight, a different kind of university experience at another kind of one of our partner universities in Europe. We also have partners in the US, Australia as well. So you can either do a study abroad or kind of an industrial placement, either or.
Okay, all right.
That's great.
Can you please tell me that which type of placement program or postgraduate related programs you are offering, your university is offering?
Yeah, so in the UK, it tends to be a little bit different. We don't tend to offer an industrial placement year. We do have one programme which we are offering though with, which is called Engineering Business Management at a postgraduate level. So this is where we're offering 1 year kind of studying engineering with business management, and then students will have an opportunity to also do a placement year. Once again, that placement year is where you'll still have to apply for it, but we have many different links through our lecturers and through our careers team where we can help support you gain that industrial placement year. However, typically in the UK, we don't tend to offer a joint industrial placement year. But with the post-study work visa, in case any students do have any questions about this, the UK government is still honouring the post-study work visa for any students who are joining us this autumn or September start, even if that is an online blended learning start. And once you kind of graduate during this summer or perhaps a little bit later, depending on the start date, you'll then have an opportunity to work for up to 2 years once you've graduated. Really, that's a perfect opportunity for gaining some work experience and internship. And then the university, once again, can help support and guide you with those placements and internships.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Now, I have another question.
Relevant to that, one student.
Yeah,
okay, carry on, Mahnur.
I have another question which I received from the student. He is asking about does Exeter University offering any installment plan for the student?
Yeah, so typically we do ask students to pay in installments in their tuition fees.
You are offering any installment plans for the students?
Oh, yes. So typically we do offer an instalment plan. So we don't usually ask students to pay all in one go. That is up to the student whether they want to do that. We typically ask students to pay in 2 installments. So usually the first half of the tuition fees will be paid once you've joined us at the university. And usually in January, the rest of the tuition fees for that year that will then be paid. We can offer more flexible arrangements, but that has to be made with our finance team, and that will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Right. Mahnur, do you have any question, or should I ask one question to Biu?
You can ask, ma'am. You can ask, ma'am.
Right. Biu, what is the minimum entry criteria to apply for University of Exeter postgraduate programs? As per the Pakistani universities grading scale, few universities have very strict GPA criteria and few universities are offering relaxed entry criteria. So what are you expecting to see in Pakistani candidates to have their percentages or GPAs when they apply for the postgraduate
Yeah, of course. That is a really, really good question. So I do have some information regarding that. So typically for students who are looking to join us for a postgraduate degree, we are looking for perhaps particular institutions. So usually we're looking for a 4-year bachelor's, and we're looking usually for students who have a 2.7 GPA or a 60% plus. For most of our programs. So that is what we call a 2-1 equivalency. For some of our programs, such as our engineering programs, which require a 2-2, we'd be looking for a 2.3 to a 2.7 GPA score, or 53 to 60%. So that's kind of what we typically tend to look for. And usually we'll look on a case-by-case basis as well.
Right. So in short, if any student wants to apply for business and social sciences programs, he must have minimum 2.7 CGPA or equivalent to 60%, because he may use the equivalency letter from his university, because in some cases, universities have very strict GPA criteria, but in percentages, their results are good.
Yeah.
So student may use 60% or 2.7.
Yes. So we can have a look at both and make a decision. And it will obviously depend on the institution as well, of course.
On institution and on overall student individual case as well. Yes. Right. And for the engineering programs, you are asking for minimum CGPA ranging between 2.3 to 2.7. That is the minimum range. Oh, that's great. That's really a great initiative. Because in Pakistan, students who are doing 4-year bachelors of engineering, they will be more conscious about the university ranking in which they are applying. And Exeter, with the top ranked standing in UK, will be great option for them to apply for masters at engineering level.
Absolutely. And that's not because we have incredible engineering programs, but we're just trying to make sure we recognise talent in all different areas of the world. So we want to make sure that we're kind of fair in making sure that students can progress to the university. So that's why the grades are a little bit lower.
Right, that's great. Would you elaborate us what is the IELTS requirement, in specifically keeping in mind that in most of the countries, English test centers like British Council, they are closed. So what are the alternate test options which you are accepting at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really great question. So just so that students know, in case students have taken an IELTS examination, we have extended the length at which the test is valid for. So usually we say an IELTS test is valid for 2 years. However, we have extended this to 2 years and 6 months in case students are joining us a little bit later on campus. We want to make sure that they haven't missed out on just based on the validity of their test. We also are offering, we're now accepting a range of different online tests. So we're also offering Duolingo as one of those options, Password, IELTS Indicator, and we also offer the TOEFL, the Special Home Edition. So those online tests we are currently accepting for students. In order to see what our equivalencies are, if you go online to our website and type in either undergraduate or postgraduate and English language qualifications, you'll be able to see on the drop-down menu, it will say other accepted tests. And then you can see what we would say is equivalent to a 6.5 in an IELTS, which ranges for each of those tests, which I've just mentioned.
Right.
I have a question. Actually, I have a question is that about regarding CAS. Like, what are the requirements required to issue CAS?
Yeah, so in order for a CAS to be issued, students have to meet all of the requirements, including academic as well as English language, and students would have had to pay the deposit deadline as well. So once a student has been made unconditional, they will then be sent a pre-CAS kind of letter to make sure that we've got all the information correct. And once a student fills out that pre-CAS application, then a CAS number will be issued.
How many courses are available?
Oh, pardon, sorry? Could you repeat that?
How many courses are available with joint CAS? Like, is there any joint CAS for pre-sessional foundation program and for pre-masters program?
Yeah, so if a student is looking, if they're joining us at the Into campus at the University of Exeter, so if they're doing an international foundation with us or a pre-masters program, then they will be issued a joint CAS if they've met the entry requirements to progress onto the course at the University of Exeter. So we will make sure that they will be given a joint CAS.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Also, just one thing to flag, I know this is kind of the time that students will be receiving CAS numbers. We are delaying that at the moment, and that's based on when the start date of the course will be, because we don't want to start issuing out CAS numbers at the moment if they're then out of date. So if students are a little bit wary and they do hold an offer at the University of Exeter and they are unconditional and they've met all the requirements, I just want to say, please bear with us. We just want to make sure that all the dates match up and to make sure that we have an official start date before we start issuing any CAS numbers.
Right. Right. Bill, like students are right now, they are applying for September-October session. In worst case scenario, if the intake is postponed till January, so is there any plan to start online classes for international students as well in September?
Yeah, so we have decided to ask the student kind of voice from students all over the world. And we've recognised that a lot of students do not want online programmes. They want that face-to-face kind of with the lecturers, with the teachers. So at the moment, we are trying to not do online programmes, just based on kind of the feedback that we've received from students. As I mentioned previously, there might be a slight blended online learning at the beginning, but we are trying to avoid kind of whole online programmes online.
That's great initiative. As you know, that face-to-face learning is a different experience for international students specifically, who are planning to have overall exposure by studying in the campus, which is overseas. And obviously through online classes, the availability of resources are limited, and students do not have access to all facilities which are provided by university. So in most cases, students prefer to go and to have face-to-face classes.
Of course, yeah. I think I would be the same as well.
Yeah, we are hopeful to start classes by October in the scenario if the situation is overcome. But otherwise, students may start their classes by January.
Yes, yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, and that's great. One of the students has asked me over the Facebook that is there any special requirement to apply for psychology program, because she has done already 4-year bachelor's of honors in psychology, and she's looking to apply for master's in clinical psychology program. Okay, yeah.
No, that's a great question. So the clinical psychology program, just in case this is something to clarify, the clinical psychology program is specifically for UK students, unfortunately, and that's just because it is with the NHS, and they've only closed it to home students only. However, we do have other psychology programs that look into kind of cognitive behaviour at master's level. So that's something just to double check online, because the clinical psychology is all to do with the placement in the UK. So that's why it's only open to UK students only. So I'm really sorry.
Yeah, no, I do understand. And same is the case for the business programs. Like if any candidate who wants to apply for Masters in Business Administration or any leading program in the business department, is there any requirement for the experience or having relevant industrial experience or some prior learning before that?
Yeah, of course. So we don't ask students if they're applying to a postgraduate program for any of our programs. They don't actually have to have experience.
Right.
We typically, students come straight from undergraduate and go straight into postgraduate. However, if you do have 12 months experience or any more than that, perhaps you've got many years experience, and perhaps you've maybe not quite met the entry requirements, then we may be able to look at your work experience, and that may be able to help you push onto a program. So for example, if you scored a 2.7, a less than a 2.7, for example, you scored 2.5, but you had over 12 months worth of work experience, then we may be able to look at whether we could actually accept you onto one of our programs. So it is important in that way.
Right. One student has just asked that what about if a student don't meet the minimum grades requirement for masters? Do you offer any type of top-up course to get to the master's course? Like, I think he's asking about pre-master's program.
Yeah, so we do have a PreMasters program, which is run by our Into Centre. So our Into Centre is right in the heart of the campus at the University of Exeter. You're still University of Exeter students. You have all the facilities available to you, and actually it's the lecturers from the University of Exeter that teach you. They're the one that builds the program. So actually you are a University of Exeter student, even when you're studying at the Into Centre. So the PreMasters courses do help kind of top up in case you've missed out on kind of the grades. Then you would be able to enroll onto one of our PreMasters programs, which we typically run in business.
Right. Manu, do you have any question before leaving?
No, ma'am. And
right. So Bu has explained everything in detail, and we are really hopeful that we will be getting good applicants for the upcoming session. Bu, what do you want to see to our prospective students before ending? What is the message to them before joining to university?
Great. I think the message I'd like students to take away is, even though this is an incredibly uncertain time, it's also really exciting. It's also a really exciting time in terms of research, and actually we're gonna see a big surge in data science and public health in the future based on what is happening at the moment. And actually you should be really excited to go and study abroad. It's a really valuable addition, especially when going into your future career and having that kind of experience of studying abroad at one of the top UK universities. So I just like to say, kind of keep positive, remain positive. You know, the universities here in the UK are here to support all students from around the world, making sure that you get here and that you have a smooth transition. And actually that once you've kind of studied, that we're then here to help you afterwards. So remain positive. Sometimes it's hard to think about the future when you're living in the now. But remain hopeful, and actually it's still a really exciting time to go and study abroad and to get involved in all the different research areas. So kind of that's the take-home message.
Exactly, that is the key point, that we should all stay positive and look forward, because this situation is not for the long period. Hopefully it will end soon and we'll be moving forward with positive vibes. All students who are interested to apply for admission, they should, this is the relaxing time, and they should plan accordingly. They should research about university, and the HR consultants team is here to help you out. We are available through our helplines, through our WhatsApp numbers, through emails. You can approach us, you can send your documents to us. I would like to mention my WhatsApp contact number. Mahnur will also add her number as well. My contact number at WhatsApp is 0346 4747 023. So you may send your documents to us for evaluation, to ask for admission and entry requirements. We are here to help you out. We are working remotely, and all queries are answered in time. So you may get complete information while sitting at your home and complete your research before joining university. So we would like that if you have any questions, you must feel free to contact us. We are conducting live sessions throughout the day, so the students can get aware about the universities and what are their plannings. Like Bu has mentioned, that University of Exeter is very hopeful that they will be conducting this session probably by late October, but the situation is, we are just waiting for the situation to get over. So as soon as the situation is over, all students will be eligible to apply for visas in time. Right? Thank you, View. Thank you, Mahnur.
Thank you. Sorry, just one thing to add as well, just to remind students as well that we do have a follow-up session, which, as I mentioned at the beginning, that if you do have any more specific questions about the University of Exeter, that we'll be holding a session on the 22nd, this Friday at 4 p.m. And as I said, I'll share the link with HR consultants. So if you are interested in signing up for that, then please join on Friday.
Definitely, we'll be promoting that link so that student may ask questions on that follow-up day. So to my all viewers, take care of yourself. Do not panic. Stay safe at your home and do research about your future planning. This is the right time to plan for your admissions. Take care. And Mahnur, do you want to add your contact number here so that the student who want to get contact with you?
Yes, you can contact me on the number is 0323 4747 422. 0323 4747 422. This is my contact number. You can contact.
Right. So the all viewers, they should attend the follow-up session by Exeter University on the upcoming Friday at 4 p.m. We will be sharing that follow-up link on our Facebook page. You must join that session as well. And by that time, take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.